From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Thursday, January the 24th, 2019. The Jewish terror suspect who is accused of throwing a rock at a Palestinian vehicle in the West Bank last October, killing 47-year-old Palestinian Aisha Rabi, was charged today with manslaughter as an act of terror. The indictment states that the 16-year-old, who was with fellow students from an extremist right-wing yeshiva in the Jewish settlement of Rechalim, stood on a hill overlooking the road and allegedly threw the rock at the car after seeing it had Palestinian license plates, with the intention, the indictment read, of causing harm. Terror group Hamas is reportedly refusing the latest installment of funds transferred from Qatar for Gaza. This follows a delay by Israel in transferring the money, about $15 million, because of the recent escalation in violence from Gaza. But the funds, which are meant to help the residents of Gaza, were released by Israel this morning. However, shortly after that, Hamas said they would not accept the money, claiming the delay was a violation of a ceasefire agreement with Israel brokered by Qatar, Egypt, and UN envoy Nikolai Mladenov. IDF troops came under fire near Israel's border with Syria overnight last night. According to the IDF spokesman's unit, Israeli troops returned fire. There were no casualties reported on either side. And staying with Israel's military, the IDF shared on social media today that for the first time in the history of U.S.-Israel relations, a Medal of Appreciation was awarded to the commander of CENTCOM, which is the U.S. Central Command. General Joseph Leonard Votel was presented the honor by newly appointed IDF Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Aviv Kochavi. In appreciation, it reads, of Votel's unwavering support of the special relationship between the United States of America and the State of Israel. Israel's President Reuven Rivlin opened an exhibition in Paris today dedicated to the stories of diplomats who saved Jews during the Holocaust. Beyond Duty, Saving Jewish Lives and Showing the Way is a collaboration between Israel's Foreign Ministry and the Yad Vashem Holocaust Museum. Installations of the exhibit are opening in Israeli diplomatic missions around the world ahead of International Holocaust Remembrance Day, which is this Sunday. Rivlin said at the opening some 200,000 people were saved by the actions of these diplomats. Their stories are a unique part of the history of the Holocaust. They prove, he said, that we always, as individuals, as representatives of our people and as countries, have the ability and the responsibility to make choices. Well, Austrian scientists said they have proven that Nazi war criminal Rudolf Hess did die in a prison in Berlin in 1987 and was not, as conspiracy theorists have claimed, killed decades earlier and replaced by a double. Researchers obtained a DNA sample from a descendant of Hess and compared it with his remains. University of Salzburg professor Jan Kemper-Kieslich said no match would have supported the imposter theory, but finally he said we do have a match. Hess, who was deputy to Hitler, was caught after he went to Scotland in 1941 and sentenced to life in prison, where he ultimately committed suicide. A church in Lithuania has removed Jewish headstones that were being used in the staircase at its entrance. The headstones were installed at the Evangelical Reformed Church in Vilnius when Lithuania was still part of the Soviet Union. The Jewish community of Lithuania said the removal work was completed last week. It said this represents a victory in the Lithuanian Jewish community's long-term efforts to ensure respect for the dead and the Jewish legacy in Lithuania. The headstones will now be moved to a Jewish cemetery. The tech transfer company of the Hebrew University of Jerusalem, Yisum, has opened centers in the U.S., South America, and Asia, aimed at sharing new technologies developed at the school with local markets abroad. CEO and president of Yisum, Yaron Danieli, said Yisum is focused on bringing the best of Hebrew University innovation to the global markets where they are most needed and valued. The new tech centers were opened in Chicago, Illinois, Asunción, Paraguay, and Shenzhen, China. And an Israeli startup which helps tourists to the European Union navigate tax-free shopping won a global travel tech competition today. Refund It came in first place in the competition, which is run by the United Nations World Tourism Organization in partnership with tourism group Globalia. 2,771 companies from 132 countries submitted to the contest. 4 of the 10 finalists were from Israel. Refund It was founded by co-founder of the highly successful Israeli navigation system Waze, Uri Levine, and Ziv Tirosh. It greatly eases the process for tourists to receive VAT, value-added tax refunds, when visiting the EU. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Thursday, January the 24th at 7 o'clock, with the commemoration of International Holocaust Remembrance Day this Sunday. JBS presents Rabbi Mordechai Becker's review of Talmudic examples of how one maintains moral integrity and Jewish identity in extreme circumstances. At 8, Rabbi Shai Held and Rabbi David Ingber talk about God and Torah. At 9, Mark Golub sits down with Sarah Esther Crisp and Rabbi Jeffrey Segelman to discuss the 10 Commandments. At 10, it's a program from the Academy of Jewish Religion on reading and understanding Torah. And coming up right after this newscast tonight at 6:30, it's the ILTV program, The Jewish World. And that's the JBS News Update for Thursday, January the 24th, 2019. I'm Teisha Bader.